I've graduated from UW-Madison now, but I was involved in an abusive relationship that started in high school and continued throughout my undergraduate years. I first noticed the abuse in my partner's extreme jealousy. He always needed to know where I was and who I was with. After a while, he became more physically abusive. The emotional abuse started first, and I would have run for the hills if the physical abuse had started first. He consistently blamed me for his behavior. It was always manipulation that I was the one that was causing the physical or psychological abuse to occur. He wouldn't take responsibility for anything. He would turn it around. It was always something I did. At the time, it was hard to distinguish the abuse from my feelings for him. Any other person I'd been with before hadn't acted that way, but I've never been in love like this before with someone either. So that was always hard for me to distinguish, thinking, well, this is what true love was about, real intense emotion. My grades plummeted because of the abuse. He expected me to spend a lot of time with him, which took me away from my studying. He would pick a fight the night before an exam to sabotage my academics. I also feel like he tried to sabotage my social life. He constantly questioned me and was suspicious of me, so much that I almost never went out with friends. I was in a sorority in college, but it was hard to make meaningful relationships. My social life with my girlfriends, that hurt too, because I couldn't develop deep relationships with them. But that's part of abusers too. They don't want you to become close to other people, so the other people don't find out how screwed up the relationship is. I didn't let on to my friends or family that I was in an abusive relationship. You get the message from people that if you start talking about him and what's going on, that people would get upset, like, "Oh, what are you doing with him? You should just dump him." When people started saying that stuff to me, and I wasn't ready to do that, I just stopped talking about it. The relationship really affected my confidence. I was no longer myself. I had become part of this awful relationship that crushed who I was. When I broke up with him, he began to stalk me. At one point, he had to be escorted out of my place of work by the police. When he sent me a threatening letter, I gave it to the police and they contacted him. I haven't heard from him in 6 years. I joined a support group at Domestic Abuse Intervention Services and got individual therapy to work through my issues around the abuse. I work with students now in an advisory position. Trust your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, it's not right. If you don't think someone should be treating you that way, then they probably shouldn't be.